right, welcome back, everybody, for another Wednesday watch list. This is the members' first content where members will get to see this on Monday, while everybody else has to wait until Tuesday for this to drop onto the channel. And this is my list of books that I'm keeping an eye out for to see what happens basically this week at the shops. Like some of these would be high ratio incentive covers that are kind of intriguing, other covers that I like art wise, some other incentives, and any other interesting things coming out this week, whether they be first appearances and things of that nature. So hopefully you find this beneficial. Hopefully you find this helpful. Hopefully you're enjoying this as well as everything else here on the channel. And with that, if you want to see what books I'm keeping my eye on this week, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro and I will be right back. All right, so as I mentioned in the open, this is the Wednesday watch list, and this is for New Comic Book Day, April 12th, 2023. Granted, the DC books will be released on Tuesday on the 11th, and I'm doing this on the 10th, but this is for all the books that will be out on those shelves by Wednesday, the 12th. So let's just dive right into it and get into the covers I like. These are some covers that just kind of jump out at me. I'm probably going to be the copies that I pick up when I grab books this week. So let's just see what's out there. First up, this title hasn't been great. We've read it, we've reviewed it on the Tax Show, but Bloodline, The Daughter of Blade, has not been the best read. It just hasn't. It's just kind of ho-hum, cliched, like a wannabe Buffy kind of story. I don't know. Hasn't been a great read, but this is a pretty cool Stephanie Hans cover. I kind of like this, and I might consider this when I see it on the shelf. I kind of like, Blade there in the background, kind of, you barely see that he's there. And with the hands reach from the top. I like the layout of this. I like Stephanie Hans. I think this is a pretty cool cover. So I might. This is going to be an impulse. Like once I see it in hand, if I like it, I'll grab it. If not, well, then I might pass. Because like I said, the story's not the best for my money. I don't know. It's just kind of eh. You guys tell me if you think I'm wrong. Tell me what you think in the comments if you're liking this Blade story. Because to me, it's just kind of like I know what's going to happen. Kind of like it's just like, okay, all right. Oh, the new girl, huh? Oh, I bet. Yeah. Anyway, I like this cover though. So like I said, we'll see what happens when I grab it on Wednesday if I want to buy it or not. I did ask for this one. I like this. Daniel Lacuna. I like this. Captain America, the Cold War. I know it's starting off some sort of Cap event here, but I just kind of like this cover. It has like an old movie poster kind of throwback kind of vibe. I dig it. So I put this on my pull list for this week. I like it, and I think Daniel Lacuna is a little underrated. Don't hear his name brought up a lot, but there you go. I like this cover, so that's why I put this here. Now, I'm not saying there's anything of spec value really onto any of these. I'm just saying these are the covers that I like. You can agree or disagree. Tell me which ones you're interested in, but just things that kind of jump out at me, like Scotty Young. Yes, I know people are kind of tired of the Scotty Young baby type covers, but I don't know. I kind of like this magic. I like this magic. And why they're doing it on X-Men issue 21? Like, this is usually relegated to, like, new first issues, right? Why are they doing it for issue 21? I don't know. But I kind of like it. So this is the one I asked for to get pulled for me. Because, like I said, I kind of like it. I dig it. It's kind of fun. It's kind of unique. I don't know. I just like it. So, for what it's worth, you either like it or you don't, as far as Scotty Young goes, I think. I mean, love it or hate it. I think it's pretty divisive. But, for me, there's some that are pretty meh, but I like this one. So I put this on my pull, like I said. Instead of the regular cover A, didn't love that one. It's just kind of generic, a bunch of Brood on there. It's, I think, Cyclops, but yeah, I like this one. So I asked for this one. Oddball stuff that caught my eye. This Mitch Gerard's. It's kind of like a negative space kind of vibe with like this, this is Danger Street #5. Not reading this title at all. Have no idea what is going on in this book. I just saw this cover and I was like, ooh, I kind of like that. So this is another case where if I see it on the shelf and I dig it, I might just grab it because it's just, I don't know. Like I said, it's got that cool negative space kind of vibe with all the like mechanical gears and whatnot in the back. Beautiful red. I think it'll present nicely. Also has that kind of a bit of a throwback kind of vibe there on the edge. It almost looks like a little bit of a beat up kind of thing going. We'll see. Like I said, it'll depend what this looks like when I get it in hand. Maybe I buy it, maybe I don't. Now, Nightmare Country. We're getting a new Nightmare Country. Sandman, focus in on the Corinthian. A lot of covers for it. And a lot of cool covers for it. So I'm just going to get into it. It was tough. It was tough sledding picking this. The Rod Reese, I don't know if I'm saying it properly. I like it. It's not bad, right? It's a pretty cool cover. You get the cool, the reflection in the sunglasses is a nice touch. I like the colors here. Pretty cool. I think this is the B cover, technically. Cover A is not bad either, but I did like this B cover. But then there's also this, I think it's technically the C cover, this wraparound by, and I'm gonna probably butcher this, Yoshitaka Amano. This is the one I asked for to get pulled. I don't know, something, it's beautiful, kind of looking painted style. I just kind of like, I just dig it. So I think this is really striking. So I asked for this one. I don't know what it'll look like in hand, but I asked for this one. And we'll get into it later. There's a foil version of this, but not in love with the foil. You know my feelings on DC foil by now, but I kind of like this one. I don't know, like I said, with the wraparound, it's gorgeous. The colors, it looks great. I can't wait to get this in hand to see what it looks like. Up next, I am still a sucker for homages. I am. They catch my eye, especially when I was like, oh hey, I haven't seen that one in a while. So, oh hey, look at this. I have no idea what Children of the Black Sun is about. This is an Ablaze comic. They do a ton of homages, and not of them, all of them are like the usual fare. Like some of these are getting a little more odd in their choices, but this issue 4 of this title, it has pretty cool X-Men 50. So you see Polaris. Like I like it. I think I like it. It's caught my eye. Will I get this? I don't know. Probably not, because it's probably not going to be on the shelf when I go to the store. I'm probably not going to order this online and have to pay shipping, but it still kind of caught my eye. And like I said, if I do see it on the shelf, it is something I'm interested in, just because, like I said, I like it. I like a good homage. If it's done well, I like it. I think this one's all right. Another cover that just kind of again grabbed me from looking at online images was this next title. This is an Ignacio No, if I'm saying that right. And here, the title of this is a Virgin image here. Beautiful, beautiful art. I love again the pinks, the blues, the colors, the purples, swords, blood, splatter, fire, mayhem. I like it. But this is for Grim Fairy Tales presents Cinderella versus the Queen of Hearts. Whew, long ass title. Number 1, by the way. And I think this is like the C cover, or they have multiple covers for these books. This is one of the covers, regular priced variant. So if the shop has it, I don't know. I'd look for this one. Not to say this is going to be something like, oh, everybody's going to be searching for. I just think this is a pretty cool image, and I kind of like it. So keep my eye out for it. Same with this next one. It's a Tim Seeley cover. Again, West of Sundown. A couple of these covers throughout the run have caught my eye, and this one, again, it caught. I don't know. There's something about her heading off into this gaping, tooth-filled like mouth, and all these other mouths in the red and with the shotgun and like the Victorian type dress. I don't know. I like it. I like it. So I'm keeping an eye on this. We'll see. Like I said, this is also another case of I'll have to see what the physical copy looks like and if I really want it or not. Because I can't buy everything. As much as I'd love to, can't buy everything. But these are books and covers that caught my eye, including this next one, which I'm going to have to pass. Because one, I don't think a shop near me is actually going to order it. And two, this is a ridiculous cover price. Beautiful, beautiful dragon. I'm a sucker for dragons. I love a good dragon cover. I'm a Dungeons and Dragons fan. I was a big fan of the movie. But this Legend Fell painted cover from American Mythology, it's got a $29.99 cover. So they're already asking $30 out of the gate. I don't know if I like it that much. Like, if this were like a regular cover price book, $5, $4, whatever it might be, absolutely. I would get it. No cares in the world of what was inside this thing. I wouldn't care. I would buy it just for the cover alone. But I don't think I feel comfortable throwing $30 at this thing just because of the cover. As much as I like it, it is a pretty cool cover. Again, when you look in at the detail of that painted dragon, like it is very detailed. I do really like it. I just don't know if I can do $30 for just this dragon image. I don't know. Hammond and Hawing, but it is still pretty cool. The other book, I think, for cover price that we all want to keep an eye out for. I mean, even looking at a lot of places online, there's a lot of the covers are sold out already, and limited to one, especially at Midtown, is World Tree. I know a lot of hype heading into World Tree coming out, so we'll see what happens. We'll see if this title is any good. It is another Tiny Onion type book. I'm interested in it. I'm gonna get a copy. I actually did order store exclusive of this one because there's a store exclusive that has Anna Marcano who did some of those Mad Love books. Those Mad Love well, I don't want to say book. Well, I mean they're like art pieces. Like they're like comic size, but inside it's almost like an art book. But fantastic artist, and it's one of her first actual variants. So I was like, I'm buying it because I like her art. So support support the artists that you like. And that said, World Tree. So the regular cover, this I believe is cover A. Cover B as well is going to be out there. Get what you can get. I mean, just check it out to read it, see what this is all about. I do like the 1 in 10, but it's priced right around ratio, even a tiny bit more. And considering there are a lot of exclusives for this book, there are probably going to be a lot of the incentives lying around elsewhere as too. So don't go overpaying for these incentives because there's going to be more than you think of these out there. But the 1 in 10 is nice. It's Jenny Frison. I dig it. 1 in 25's got a Bill Sienkiewicz. Kind of creepy. Again, the whole premise of this story is kind of interesting with the internet and all that stuff. But we'll see, again, with the execution, how this title holds. The 1 in 50 is pretty nice, too. I forget who did this one. But the 1 in 50s, again, another nice cover. There's a 1 in 75 as well. This is Peach did this one. So Peach Momoko, 1 in 75. And there is a 1 in 100. That's a callback to Nice House on the Lake, I think, right? A little homage there to that cover. So plenty of ratios, plenty of incentives for this thing. Most of them are all selling, at least pre-selling, for right around their ratio marks. Maybe a little bit above, maybe a little bit below. I think when all this shakes out, it'll depend. It'll depend on how popular the series is. Because, as I said, there's plenty of copies out there. So if there are, prices could dip a bit. But if everybody reads it and loves this, maybe they hold a little bit longer than normal. We'll see. We'll see how this all plays out. But that's what I'm keeping an eye on because I'm curious. I'm curious what's going to happen. Like I said, there's a few store variants for World Tree. A couple of nice ones too. There's a lot of good cover art out there. There's more cover art than comics these days. There's so many cool images that we're just getting spoiled a bit, but also worn out because there's only so much we can throw our money at. Like our wallets can only go so far. But we keep getting cover after cover. With that said, speaking of them throwing things back out at us, how about second prints? Yep, we got a couple second prints this week. Gonna look. I mean, I'm a fan of collecting the second prints, not because of anything other than it's new cover art, and I'm just kind of curious. First up, we got Cosmic Ghost Rider #1, this new volume, second print there. Again, this is only selling for like around cover price, so not saying this is going to get short, hard to find or anything like that. Just pointing it out, as well as there's going to be there's a second print for Phantom Road #1, pretty much the same cover as cover A, just kind of washed out, recolored there. But yeah, I'm probably not picking up either of these, but I might. It'll depend. Like I said, if I'm making a stack, sometimes I just get impulse buy a lot of stuff. But what I am going to be keeping an eye on are the next two. We have Hollow's Eve #1, the second print, because there's also an incentive here. And that is this, which is, I believe, one of the C covers. This is another Stephanie Hans, but it's a virgin version. 1 in 25 ratio incentive for a second print. Already sold out a lot of places and already selling pretty well. So this is the first book we're going to give you some market details on because I have some to give you. It's not just cover price. This pre-selling already ahead of Wednesday, $75, $40, $50. Granted, a couple of those sales took place back earlier in March, so these aren't like within the last week. These were in the last couple of weeks. Those were both like middle of March, March 8th, March 12th, March 15th on those sales. We'll see come Wednesday when shops get this and people start getting this in hand. If these prices hold, do they continue to go up a bit? Because you see these went 50, 40, 75. We'll see where things shake out. At the time of when I cut this, there were no copies up available. There probably are now that I'm actually filming this on Monday. I got this deck ready on Saturday, hoping to film it Sunday, but Easter Sunday, I just didn't have time. So doing this today, didn't have time to update it. Just want to get this out. So there's probably copies available now, asking price, and I bet they're probably in that $60 to $75 kind of range right now. Let's see what happens. But with that said, another second print out of Marvel that also has a 1 in 25 incentive is Spider-Gwen Shadow Clones. So again, the regular cover here, this is a Greg Land cover. Not bad, but I don't expect these to be hard to find because I'm sure plenty of places have been ordering more copies of these second prints just so they can get these second print incentives because these things have been selling lately. By and large, a lot of these have been selling double, triple ratio for no other reason than their incentives for second prints. So everyone assumes, and probably rightfully so, that there aren't a lot of them. But just because there aren't a lot of them doesn't mean all that much to me. Like it's got to be something more than that because I don't think of second prints as first appearances. They're just not. It's a reprint. That's what it is. So for a first appearance, yes, there's first appearance inside, but not that book. The second print is not the first to me. That's how I view it. You can view it differently, fine. But to me, the first print is the thing that printed first. That's the first appearance. It appeared there first. You do a second print a month or two later, that's no longer the first appearance anymore because they already appeared. Not saying there's even first appearances worth picking up in these second prints right now. They just happen to be throwing out second prints in 1 in 25 ratios for one reason or another, probably just because they're selling. And this is another cover that was already used, but now it's a virgin version to help the Marvel sell their incentives for their second prints. This is another case where it's selling above ratio, pre-selling, I should say. Copy selling for 62, best offer on 60, 40, 50 bucks. Again, these are in March, so the last couple of weeks on these. This one had asking prices out there. There was one asking 150 bucks at the time of me cutting this, and there was another one that only wanted 30. So you can see one of those is like choose your cover. Somebody had it up for 30. Again, I don't know if that copy's still there. I thought about it, and then I said, what am I going to buy this for? Just because some sell for 50, I'm going to buy it for 30. I'm going to try to make a profit. That's short term. No, that's not worth the risk to me. Try to make 20 bucks while waiting for this market to play out and paying shipping and taxes. You won't make anything. So I was like, no, why did I even consider that? But my head thought, ooh, 30, that's less than what it's selling for. Maybe I should consider it. And then you compare it to, oh, when there's also one list for 150, well, maybe. I don't know. I think that 150 is pie in the sky dreams. Personally, we'll see how this plays out. That's why I'm following this because I'm curious as much as you probably are of what's going to happen. Do I know? I don't know. I'm just giving you my gut instinct. And my gut instinct on this is just it's not going to hold. But we'll see. I could be wrong. I have been wrong before. But with that said, let's get into my favorite part of doing this. I love looking at the incentives. I just do. I like incentives, and I like looking at the new ones and seeing if there's any worth my time to go out there and try to hunt. So first one is that homage cover I talked about, that Ablaze. This is a 1 in 10 for that X-Men 50 homage. So again, I don't know much about this title. This is the virgin version. It's kind of cool, but it's selling for about ratio. I don't expect it to be more than that. I'm probably not going to get it, but I thought it was interesting, so I put it in the deck. Then I saw, hey, we got another Joker character, some sort of Joker club or something going on in Batman Incorporated 7. So this Dusty Bronco character from Joker Incorporated is on the 1 in 25 incentive for Batman Incorporated number 7. I didn't like these at first, but these have kind of grown on me when they do these like almost character design type covers. I don't know, something about it, especially with the color schemes, it makes it pop a little bit. Maybe it's just the red. Maybe it's just the red catching my eye this time. But this 1 in 25, already pre-selling, not bad. Right around ratio, 23 bucks, 23.62. But there was one best offer on $85 where they accepted 80 bucks, and that was the most recent sale. And that was on April 7th. So that was just a couple of days ago. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with this thing. I know Batman Incorporated is not the highest printed Batman title. It's not the regular Bat title. So maybe the print runs a little bit lower. Maybe it'll be harder to find. I don't know. But once again, buy it now. There's an asking price up. There was one up for $25, but with $20 shipping out of the UK. And then one listed for $140. Buy it now. I don't know about that, but will be interesting to watch this ride. So this is another one I'm going to keep my eye on. We'll see if this makes the top 10 in 10 on Thursday. We'll see what happens. See if these prices hold or if these are just outlier prices. Because that's the case with a lot of these incentives pre-selling. So a lot of times they'll pre-sell for a lot, and then once the day hits, the copies hit people's hands, they don't hold those prices. But we'll see. Everybody wants to gamble. Everybody wants to be a gambler these days. Harley screws up the DCU number 2. Classic cover, right? Just like these other ones they've done for her on this title. Homage to Adventures of Superman 463. You got the race against the Flash. Fun. I like these. I like this. But we'll see how much it's going to cost, because one sold for only $20 on April 5th. I might consider it a 1 in 25 for $20. Maybe. I still want to be a little less. I want to shoot for more 15. 10 to 15 is more my speed for 1 in 25, but 20 maybe, because I kind of like it. We'll see. Asking price. There's another one up there for 20 from Jetpack, and then one list for 85. So that was at the time of me cutting this on Saturday. We'll see what happens. This will be dropping tomorrow, or everyone who's not a member watching this, that has already dropped today. So this would have been a book that's in your shop today. I got another 1 in 25. This time going back to Image, we have Dark Ride, which they've done some cool Disney themed like homages here, but this looks like a Disney theme, but it's mixed with Marvel, Gamora 2. So it's like you're taking Disney style and you're mixing it with more. It's an odd mix, but there it is. Kind of cool, kind of fun. At this point, I don't know if people have forgotten about this title and print runs have dipped, or if people have seen how some of the earlier incentives have sold, they're still ordering this heavily. I don't know what shops have been doing with this book, but copies of this have pre-sold for as cheap as $11.18 up to like $50, as you can see. So inconsistent pricing there. There's one that's at auction. Again, $20 shipping out of the UK, but it was at $6 at the time, but that's not ending until Friday. So we'll see where this one ends too. We'll see the other copies that show up on the market and see what happens with this book, because I'll be interested, but I don't know. And plus, I think there's a store exclusives as well. Once again, they run those exclusives. They'll have some of these incentives too. Another interesting book, to me at least, was this cover. It just kind of jumped out at me. It's almost like a creepy True Detective Swamp Thing kind of mashup thing. This is from Boom. This is Seasons Have Teeth, #1, a 1 in 25. Boom title. All right, kind of curious, kind of interesting. Virgin Image, like I said, kind of creepy. Like I said, reminds me of that first season of True Detective with the skull with the antlers and all that stuff. I don't know, creepy, kind of cool. Pre-sale for this one sold for like $20, but no, yeah, 20 bucks. It sold for right around ratio when you factor in shipping. Not too bad. We'll see where this one plays out, but listings for this one were listed at $63 and $80. So high asks. The one sale, not so much. The asking price is pretty high. Don't know if this is a case of another title that gets overlooked and a lot of places didn't order the incentive. We'll see. Once again, we'll see. Try not to, I don't get FOMO, or try not to get FOMO, at least. Not trying to give anybody else FOMO. These are just things I'm going to be keeping my eye on to see what happens. Because like I said, I'm not buying all these. I can't buy all these books. I like looking. I'll buy some. And if the price is right, I might buy some. But on this one, price is right. I might consider ratio, because like I said, I like this art. So I might consider ratio. 60, 80? No, I'm out. I'm out at that price, personally. But if this were at ratio at my shop, I might think about it. Because like I said, I dig it. I like the art. I mentioned this one before. We're running near the end here. But this is the 1 in 50 for that Sandman Nightmare Country. This is that pretty cool wraparound cover. I like it. The colors popped, but it's foil. 1 in 50 foil. And here's a live example of the foil. I know this is kind of a dark picture, but still, it mutes everything. I hate these DC foils. Just don't like them. Just don't like them. So I'm not in on this one. Prices on this, well, $80, 60, 70. So they're selling above ratio, that 1 in 50 ratio. Asking prices, there's a couple. There's a 50, 55, 70. So ratio and above seems to be its price. How this thing will shake out as the days go on, it might dip below that ratio mark. I don't know. But if it does, it's probably because there is a 1 in 100, which we will get to in a minute. But first things first, I got another 1 in 100 to show you. Ewoks. Yes, this Ryan Brown cover. Pretty cool. I like it. But it's the same image as the cover A. I'm fine just getting the cover A. I'm not going to pay 1 in 100 prices for an Ewok book just because it's a virgin. It's not how I'm going to go. I'm just not pulling out my wallet for this. But Plenty of people are, because a 1/100 selling for $110, $200. Some best offers accepting $110, $135. So above ratio. I don't know if it's going to hold. It might. Some of the asking prices are expecting it to, because they're asking $180 to $200. I think that's a bit much for this, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know why I snuck that Ewok book in between these, but maybe it's just because of the prices. Because the prices on this next one have me wondering if the foil is gonna hold, gonna keep up. I don't think it is, because we saw this happen before. Granted, Jenny Frison, 1/100, Sandman Nightmare Country, #1. This is a Glass House. This is another story, another character, so it's not Death on the cover. So I don't expect this to play out the same way as the Death cover did, but it's still a solid cover. Wasn't this? It's Daniel, I think. I think is the next Sandman, whatever. But still a pretty cool cover. Copies are selling for well above the 1/100 ratio. Look, $200, $200, $180, $200. Asking prices $200, $175. Seems to be moving consistently above ratio, well above ratio for this 1/100. I still don't think it's gonna hold like the other one did. I'm still upset I never got a copy of that Jenny Frison. I mean, that one's gone up to what, like $400 raw, I think people were paying at one point. I don't know if it's still there, but I'd love to have that cover, but not at those prices. I just can't. It's just not in my nature to shell out that for a modern book that just came out on a Wednesday. I just can't do it. That said, quickly going to look at another book. Again, going to dip down a ratio, so we're not just going up in ratio completely. This is a 1 in 50. Love these covers here. This is John Yang, if I'm saying the name right. I'm probably butchering the names here, but love these colors. Colors pop. Virgin cover, virgin image, awesome. The trade dress, there's a trade dress version of this as well. This is a $9.99 cover, I believe, as well. So the incentives here could not be that many, but having that trade dress option will limit, I think, a little bit. I don't know, because a lot of these these are like Marvel Tales, those like special ones, but this is Marvel Voices Spider-Verse #1. So it's like an anthology. We'll see how this plays out. But the pre-sales for this one, $170, $180 for this 1 in 50. Well above ratio. That's almost 4 times ratio. But there are a few out there also asking some crazy high amounts. $195, $225, $290 for this 1 in 50. I don't know. Granted, I get it. 2 have sold. Like 3 of them up there right now. Seems like a lot. But the prices are kind of high. But still, I don't know how many copies of this have been ordered. I know it's a Spider-Verse book, but again, it's Marvel Voices. It's a hefty cover price. A lot of shops aren't going to order a bunch of $10 books because they're not going to sell a lot of them. But we'll see. I know I said I wasn't going to do this every week, but this is another chance. I don't know what this is going to end up being, but is this a future Ghost? It could be, because I don't see a lot of copies coming to market even after this gets released on Wednesday. I feel like, yes, these pre-sales are pretty high, or asking prices for these pre-sales are kind of high. True. But I don't think there's a lot more copies coming to market. So once these go, that could be it for it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not saying you go and buy it because of that. I'm just curious of what's going to happen. I kind of dig it, but not that much. That said, we'll see how this all plays out. We'll see if these end up being Ghost or something that's easily attainable. I don't know. But like I said, I'm curious. I'm sure you're curious too. So we'll all check this out together and see how this all plays out. But with that all said, that's all I got for you this week. Thanks for the support. I appreciate you all. Members, this is why you guys get it early. Everybody else, you're going to get us on Tuesday. And hopefully you find this little look ahead helpful. Like I said, let me know what books you're looking forward to this week. And if you want me to add something in here, like reader segments, like books I just want to read, I can add that in here too. I just kind of been focusing on checking the prices on some of the things that might be going up. So for the Wednesday Warrior and you know the books to kind of keep an eye out on. So, but if you want some reader stuff in there, I can add it. Just let me know in the comments if you'd like that. And with that all said, thanks again, and I'll have some more content coming your way. Make sure for the members who get to see this today, watch. There'll be a special Star Wars presentation coming tonight instead of Hidden Gems, because I just didn't have time to do Hidden Gems Gonna try to do Chasing Ghosts, but even that could be kind of dicey. Easter kind of throwing me behind schedule, but more Star Wars live show tonight at 10:30. With that all said, I'll see you guys later. All right, bye.